Assalamualaikum, my name is Aiman Muaz with matrix number 076692, and I'm one of the partners in MKHK and Associates, and my role is to be the active partner.
I'm Brena Gopejing, and I'm one of the partners of our MKHK Associates. So basically, I'm a dormant partner or sleeping partner.
Hello and good day. My name is Jia Gixing. I'm active partner of MKHK and Associates.
My name is Crystal Chong Kai with the matrix number of 0767 and 9, and I will be the nominal partners.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Amshar bin Muhammad Ishaq with matrix numbers 076384, and I am the active partners of the MKHK and Associates.
Hello everyone, my name is Narendra Ramesh and I'm one of the active partner in MKHK and Associates.
Hi, my name is Nur Fakihah Sajida binti Zaidi with matric number 076561, and I am one of the active partners in the MKHK and Associates. The brief overview of this partnership is that, firstly, this partnership agreement sets out how MKHK and Associates operates as a legal professional partnership. In terms of its nature and purpose, the firm provides collective legal services across different areas of law. At the same time, it allows the partners to share risks, responsibilities, and liabilities through joint management and decision making. Next, the agreement outlines the capital contributions and partnership interests of each partner. Partners may contribute in the form of cash, assets, skills, services, or reputation. Importantly, these contributions are fixed and can only be varied with the written consent of all partners. As a result, profits and losses are shared according to each partner's agreed partnership interests. In the event of any dispute, the partners are required to attempt internal discussions in good faith. However, if the dispute cannot be resolved, it will be referred to arbitration under the Arbitration Act 2005, where the arbitral award is final and binding on all partners. Finally, the agreement also governs the admission of new partners, the withdrawal of existing partners, and the dissolution of the partnership to ensure clarity, stability, and continuity in the firm's operations. That's all on my part. I shall pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Under our partnership framework, each partner contributes unequally to strengthen the firm. Aiman contributes 27,000 ringgit together with the key skill and expertise, holding 50% of the interest. Brena provides the highest contribution of 72,000 ringgit plus essential equipment by holding 25% of the interest. Chia contributes 36,000 ringgit and asset. She will be holding 20% of the interest. While I will going to enhance the firm's reputation and client confidence. Amsha contribute 9,000 ringgit and services by holding the interest of 5%. Naren and Nur Fakihah will be contributing 18,000 ringgit and their professional service and holding the 10% of their interest. So together, this contribution will create a strong, balanced, and capable partnership. In terms of professional expertise, each partner strengthens the firm in different ways. Aiman will lead in litigation, criminal defense advocacy, legal advisory work, and firm operations. Brenna supports the firm through a strong capital and investment backing. Chia contributes significantly to management, strategy, decision making, marketing, and also financial oversight. Me will enhance the firm's credibility in criminal litigation, building a public trust and client confidence. Amsha will strengthen our litigation and criminal defense capabilities. Naren will specialize in child custody and matrimonial disputes. And finally, Nur Fakihah contributes expertise in estate planning, conveyancing, and firm administration, ensuring efficient operation. Together, these skills create a high capable and well-rounded firm. Our firm also includes the condition upon the contribution. First, no changes to partners' contribution will be made unless all partners agree in writing. Next, gross cash distribution will be paid according to each partner's ownership percentage, either based on scheduled possessor payments or within 60 days of receipt. Then, all partners will share profits and bear the losses strictly proportional to their respective interests.
For the dispute resolution, according to clause 5.1, any dispute arising from this partnership agreement, if cannot be resolved by the good faith internal negotiation between the partners within 30 days, shall be referred to arbitration. And according to clause 5.6, no court proceeding shall be commenced to settle the dispute arising in this partnership agreement, except to enforce the arbitral award. These clauses is important to avoid the court order resolution, where arbitral award is final and binding, private and confidential, and the arbitrator appointed is expert, and the most importantly, it saves much time and cost. Such dispute resolution is allowed in the partnership agreement when the Partnership Act 1961 silent on this matter. It did not prohibit the arbitration. It also did not mandate the court proceeding.
Now moving on to the dissolution part. I will explain clauses 8 and 9 which deal with dissolution and winding up of the partnership. First, the purpose of these clauses is to provide certainty when the partnership comes to an end. Clause 8 clearly defines what event triggers dissolution, so there is no confusion about whether the partnership still exists. Clause 9 then ensures an orderly exit by setting out a proper winding up process, protecting both the partners and third-party creditors while avoiding a rush sale of assets. In terms of legal significance, these clauses are crucial in three ways. First, limitation of liability. Clauses 9.1 requires notice of dissolution. Without them, partners may remain liable to outsiders who believe the firm is still operating. Second, termination of agency. Clauses 9.44 ends mutual agency, so no partner can bind the firm to a new contract except for winding up purposes. Third, priority of payments. Clause 9.3 creates a clear payment order, ensuring creditors are paid first and reducing insolvency risk. These clauses are also fully aligned with the Partnership Act 1961, particularly Section 34 to 46. The provision on expiration, death, bankruptcy, and illegality mirrors Section 34 to 36, follows Section 46 on settlements of account. Finally, why was it drafted this way? The use of subject to agreement allows flexibility to depart from statutory defaults. Arbitration promotes privacy, speed, and lower cost. The distinction between dissolution and winding up preserve legal authority after dissolution, and broad dissolution triggers act as a safety valve when the partnership is no longer viable.
Hi, I will explaining and talking about the challenges that's faced by all of us during the partnership agreement drafting. So first and foremost, the issue that we face is that what type of the business that we want to set up for our partnerships agreements. So initially, some of us have suggested to have the legal firms partnerships, and then some suggested to have the accountant partnership, or even to have a partnership that run of the business of cafe. So after during the communications and the discussions among all the members, then we decided to have partnerships on the legal firms. So because since all of us are law students, then it's quite suitable for us to set up a partnerships business that related with the legal firm. So in my to some extent might be fixed for us in future. Maybe some of us here at future will really start the legal firm partnerships or to have the lawyer partners like that. So the second issue or the challenge that we face is how to structure the partnership agreement, because we have to make it systematic and organized to make it more logical in reading. For example, we put about the introductions of each member, then come with the contributions. Like we cannot directly put the provision or the terms on the admissions of the new partners or the withdrawal of the existing partner at the beginning. Is quite weird and not logical. And then the third issue or third challenge that we face is that we have to all the time ensure the consistency from the first provision to the last provisions. For example, we cannot have the provisions that are clash with each other or conflict with each other. For example, maybe at the dispute resolutions that we're saying that we prefer to have the ADR, then coming later when another provision, for example, the provision related to the, if there any dispute or conflict arise from the withdrawal of the existing partner, then we can directly go to court. It is not fixed and it is not consistent already. So we have to ensure that each provision is consistent at the whole performance. So the last issue that we really face or the challenge is that we have to ensure the good and proper language used in the whole agreement. We have to make sure that every sentence and every wording that we use is correct, the grammar are correct also, and then we have to make sure that the wordings are the most accurate one. Because since we have to know that sometimes the words, although it might not be wrong, but if inaccurate, then may lead to a lot of problem or the issues and maybe become the dispute arise in future also. That's all. Thank you.
Lessons learned about the partnership law is, first, we learn that the partnership is based on mutual trust and agency. Each partner has the authority to bind the firm, which means the actions of one partner can legally affect all the partners. And this made us realize the importance of clearly defining roles, authority, and responsibilities in the agreement. Secondly, we can also learn about the Partnership Act 1961 provides default rules, but these rules can be modified by agreement. This shows us by a written partnership agreement is essential, as it allowed partners to tailor their rights and obligations according to their needs instead of relying or depending solely on statutory provisions. And next, we understood that the clear and precise clauses help prevent disputes. Clauses on capital contribution, profit and loss sharing, dispute resolution, and dissolution of provide certainty and reduce the risk of misunderstanding among the partners. Finally, we learned that risk and liability are shared among partners, regardless of different levels of contribution among the partners in this firm. And this highlights the seriousness of entering into a partnership and the need for careful legal drafting to protect all parties involved. If we see in the lesson learned in terms of teamwork, the first lesson we learn is that effective communication is crucial. Throughout the drafting process, we had different opinions on business structure and clause wording, and open discussion helped us reach consensus. Secondly, dividing tasks accordingly to individual strengths improved efficiency. Each member contributed to different sections of agreement, which allowed us to complete the work systematically and on time. And on the third, the lesson we learned is we experience the decision making through the consensus reflects a real legal practice. For examples, agreeing on arbitration as a dispute resolution mechanism required collective agreement similar to how partners operate in actual law firms. And finally, the team review was essential to ensure consistency and accuracy. By checking each other's works, we avoided the conflicting clauses and ensure the compliance with partnership law. Thank you.
Reflecting on our experience as a large group of 7, we face significant challenges in coordination and structure. And to bridge the gap between our current student drafts and professional legal standards, we would like to propose three strategic refinements for future projects. First, we must prioritize pre-drafting standardization. In this assignment, merging 7 individual writing styles led to jarring inconsistency in formatting and numbering. This disrupted the document's professional flow and required significant cleanup. And moving forward, I think we should establish a unified house style, agreeing on definitions, fonts, and clause structures before a single word is actually typed in. And in legal practice, this consistency is critical. It ensures the final agreement reads with a single seamless voice rather than as disjointed collection of parts. Secondly, I think we need to implement a formal fresh eyes quality assurance protocol. Because we relied too heavily on self-editing, which meant errors like our execution section placement slipped through until the very end. We suggest adopting a peer review system where partners cross-check each other's works. This mirrors the partner review process used in firms to mitigate risk. A fresh pair of eyes is far more likely to catch blind spots, logical gaps, or conflicting terms that the original drafter might miss. And finally, I think we need to enforce strict version control and document integrity. With files moving around multiple members, we often face ambiguity over which draft was the actual master copy. And to prevent this, we need a centralized document management protocol. This prevents conflicting edits and ensures we maintain a clear professional audit trail of the agreement's validity from the actual beginning and to finish. And that's all for my part. Thank you.